Yes, Nelson Piquet won his first ever Formula One Grand Prix here in Long Beach. There is Los Angeles in the distance, and that is some 20 miles away from where we are now here in Long Beach, so not particularly far, about half an hour if the traffic's good, about 3 hours on any other day. And there is the Long Beach Marina. You can see the events hall in the middle, the convention center there as well, the hotel on the left-hand side. It has become iconic for this race, and you really have to praise the foresight of the man who started it all, the travel agent Chris Pook. And we can now hear from Jean-Eric Verne, another man who's won the fan boost. He's starting 5th on the grid.
Jean-Eric Verne, 5th on the grid. How are you feeling going into this race at Long Beach?
Feels good, feels good. I think 5th is not really representative considering we were in the first group, but I'm still really happy with the qualifying we've done, and the 5th is a good position to start and still be able to win the race. So hopefully this one will be going until the end for me, and in a good way.
And after the crash that you had this morning, is that shaken you up at all? Is the car ready for this afternoon?
Yeah, car is ready. The guys have done an amazing job to get the car ready on time, and we had to reshuffle a little bit the practice sessions, but overall it's all positive, and you know, it's behind us. We don't think anymore about it, and now we go for the race.
Good luck, thank you.
So Jean-Eric Verne will be starting in 5th position after a frustrating qualifying session where he and Scott Speed were out in the first group, and this is the first time this season we've really seen the 4th group being the quickest of all. There's the Queen Mary ship, built in 1936 by John Brown and Company in Clydebank, Scotland, which Dario Franchitti is celebrating alongside me, and it's great to have that here. Also, that dome there used to be the home of the Spruce Goose, the heavy transport flying boat that was on display there until 1993. It's now in Oregon, still has the largest wingspan of any plane ever, and is the largest flying boat. And you taught me all that yesterday.
Hey, Jack.
How was it down on the grid? It looks like there's an awful lot of fans here for a start.
The grandstands are very busy. The grid was a lot busier than that. Everybody's they're all keyed up to go. The guys at the back are saying with the more races they do, the more use everybody's getting to the strategies, the more difficult it is to make progress from the back, and how qualifying is becoming increasingly more important. And I heard them say, especially Nelson Piquet just said, it's going to be a more aggressive race today. It's not such a critical race it's not so critical on power and how power used, so I expect them to be getting after it.
We've tended to see a calmer first half of the race, managing their battery energy that they have remaining, and then when they get into the second half of the race, the final sort of 5-10 laps, everyone knows where they are, how much they can push, and then they start to go for it. And strategy has been one of the most important elements of Formula E so far this season. We've seen varying strategies throughout. You can win or lose depending on your strategy. So ahead of the weekend, we thought we'd speak to some of the drivers to find out what the keys are.
Yep.
I'm up.
Look at the lens or her.
Is it Hollywood, the guy cycling behind me?
The secret of a winning strategy.
I'm not sure it's the right place to disclose that information, really.
Hard to answer in a quick word, efficiency.
You want to keep it simple?
Who knows? I mean, it's racing.
It might be better sometimes to start the race quite slow and keep the energy for the end of the race. This is where you can make the difference.
Practice 1, free practice 2, qualifying, everything is monitored, everything is pre-organized, and you know what you're going to get into.
I've never used any strategy. I've always kind of emptied my mind all Bruce Lee style and just reacted.
Everybody has to learn how to adapt themselves as quick as possible to every kind of different scenario.
You really have to make sure there's no mistake, because it's just all happening in one day.
Nothing is finished until the end of the race, and that's very exciting. That's why I love Formula E so much.
I'm just living the dream, so it's pretty nice. Good luck, man.
Was that your tactic, go Bruce Lee style? Just forget all about strategy?
Sometimes. I love Scott Speed. He's a funny bloke, isn't he?
He certainly is. He's going to be starting in 6th place on the grid, Scott Speed, the second of the two Andretti cars. Had a wonderful first race in Miami, but earlier on, just before he got into the car, we spoke to Scott, and these are his views on the race.
Scott Speed, one final word before you get in the car.
I don't know what. Well, I'm prepared right now. You guys are interrupting me. I was just meditating. I was right in the middle of my chi, and you guys messed it all up.
I thought you didn't have to prepare.
We're good. We're good.
Excellent. Good luck.
You love Scott Speed even more now, I imagine.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
He is awesome. And this is, of course, his home race. He's from Manteca, which is just outside of...
Come on, Jack.
Oh, what's the one
I
I'm
don't know.
looking for? San Francisco. Just outside of San Francisco, some 5 or 6 hours north of here, but nevertheless a California boy, and he will be looking for a strong race today, and he will be starting in 6th place on the grid, just behind his teammate Jean-Eric Vergne, just in front of Antonio Felix da Costa.
Yeah, Jean-Eric Vergne has been really quick. Scott Speed in that one race in Miami was very quick, but very good on the energy and saving the energy. One weak spot that Jean-Eric Vergne has had has been the ability to save the energy, and actually has never done the full race. I think Scott Speed has really got the edge there.
And Jean-Eric struggled as well in the second half of the race in Miami. He was there or thereabouts in the first half, but second half just seemed to fall back a little bit. You can see the grid being cleared. There is Leonardo DiCaprio, the Venturi Formula E team founder, as well as, of course, an actor. 4 Academy Award nominations. Famously, has never won one, but he was in the film The Aviator, which was all about the spruce goose, which we were talking about earlier on, but I won't give you any more facts about that, except maybe it flew 1 mile from here along the Cabrillo Beach in 1947, and it was made entirely of birch. But that is the end of my spruce goose facts for the day. Hopefully the fans will be enjoying the action that's coming up soon. But now we can hear from Alejandro Agag, the CEO of Formula E.
Alejandro Agag, here we are in Long Beach. As you just said, the crowd has been building, but we're getting halfway through the championship now. Things are starting to really heat up.
They are. I think this is great to be in California, this place where so many technology breakthroughs are, happening, and we hope here they can invent a battery that, lasts forever, basically. So very, very happy to be here. Great crowd. I think, getting a different kind of racing here in Long Beach with great heritage of racing.
Of course, and we're bringing something completely new to Long Beach. The heritage obviously started years ago, and now bringing something completely new with Formula E.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think, we were looking for tracks all over the world, and when we came here to Long Beach, we saw this place. It's amazing, and really also it's a symbol that this place that has so much heritage, it also is looking to the future, looking to Formula E.
Fantastic. Well, enjoy your day. Thank you.
Los Angeles has the biggest amount of electric cars of any city in the world, and so it makes sense that we're in this part of California, all around, I suppose, and this is the area of America that deals with all of new technologies and that sort of thing, so it's very fitting that we are here in Long Beach. But there is Daniel Abt on pole position on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, Nico Prost. They're on the dummy grid. In a few minutes' time, they will pull forward to take the start of this 39-lap ePrix. The fans are all here. Everybody's in position. And in a couple of minutes' time, we will be having the first ever race in California for the FIA Formula E Championship. And I think if qualifying is anything to go by, it's going to be incredibly entertaining. A beautiful view across Long Beach in California for the 6th round of the FIA Formula E Championship. 39 laps of the classic Long Beach Street Circuit, the historic Long Beach Street Circuit, await these all-electric race cars. My name is Jack Nichols. Alongside me in the commentary box is Dario Franchitti, a man who has won here at Long Beach in IndyCar, as well as lots of other places in IndyCar. And we have down in the pits, Nikki Shields. Dario, a word from you. This is a place you've been many, many, many times. What is this like compared to an IndyCar event?
Yeah, a couple of different layout, but the buzz on the grid is quite impressive today. Really is a great crowd, and for a first go, the ePrix is shown very, very well. But clearly, the Grand Prix has many years, and it's a massive event. And this, for a first go, this ePrix is very impressive.
We can now hear from Adrian Brody, the youngest man ever to win an Oscar for Best Actor. He has been here, and that was for Roman Polanski's The Pianist. Let's hear from him.
How you doing?
Good. So Adrian Brody, you've just arrived here in Long Beach. How do you fancy swapping your acting career for driving one of these cars?
I'd love to try one of these, maybe not with the audience first, but I've actually raced charity race 4 times on this track. So I know the track well. I know that turn 1, how precarious it is. I know the whole track pretty well. But I haven't driven something with this kind of horsepower.
So maybe some of the guys should be getting tips from you.
What's that?
Some of the drivers should be getting tips from you.
They don't need a tip from me. I grew up drag racing in Queens, so my driving style is not the finesse of this, but...
We're being thrown off the grid. Thanks very much.
Great to hear from Adrian Brody. That obviously was a few moments ago, but now we're getting ready for the cars to pull forward from the dummy grid to the start grid, and then the racing will be getting underway. Here's a look at the grid. Daniel Abt starts on pole position, his first ever pole position. Nico Prost alongside him on the front row. Nelson Piquet Jr. third on the grid, with Lucas Di Grassi in fourth position. Fifth, Jean-Eric Verne. He's got fan boost alongside him. A best qualifying performance for Scott Speed. He managed 10th last time out in Miami. Antonio Felix da Costa as well has best his qualifying position with 7th, 8th for Jerome D'Ambrosio. 9th is Stefan Sarazan. 10th is Sebastian Buemi, the man who qualified on pole but had his fastest time taking away for using too much power. Sam Bird is in 11th position. Bruno Senna is 12th for Mahindra. 13th on the grid will be Jarno Trulli in his eponymous team. 14th, Jaime Alguersuari. 15th is Nick Heidfeld. 16th, Charles Pic. 17th place, Loic Duval, 1 place better than he managed in Miami. Karun Chandok, we heard from him, disappointed to be down in 18th position. Salvador Duran is 19th quickest. Antonio Liuzzi crashed in qualifying, and as a result, he starts 20th and last. So a minute to go before the start of the roll. Less than that really, because the cars are pulling forward now to the start of the grid. Dario, final thoughts before it all kicks off?
It's going to get interesting into turn one. They don't have any heat in these carbon brakes. They tend to grab when they're like that. Turn one is a bit of a monster anyway with that chicane. If they all get through there in one piece, I'll be surprised, and it'll be very difficult to make up places today. Fan boost is going to be key.
Pole position on the left-hand side as we look at it is the yellow, red and green car of Daniel Abt. Second on the grid, the blue and yellow Edams machine of Nico Prost. Silver and yellow. In third place is Nelson Piquet Jr. All 5 lights are on, and we go green in Long Beach, and it's a bad start from Prost. Great start from Nelson Piquet Jr. He looks to the inside line, and he's going for the lead of the race into turn one. Wonderful start from Piquet Jr. He leads. Cars flying everywhere. A bit of contact in the back of the pack, and it's a bit messy down there at the first chicane, but what a start from Nelson Piquet Jr. Sam Bird's in trouble. He's out of the race, and well, certainly out of this car. He might be able to limp back around to the pits. Abt in second, Prost in third, Verne in fourth, Di Grassi and Buemi completing the top 6. We're going side by side here with Buemi trying to go around the outside of Scott Speed. But what a start from Nelson Piquet Jr.
You think he's hungry?
Yeah, certainly. It's 35 years since his dad won here in Formula One, and he is desperate to repeat that feat here. Look at this, all sorts of pressure on Jean-Eric Verne, side by side, Di Grassi and Verne, and that's going to allow Scott Speed a chance to try and get through, but around the outside of turn 6 isn't really a possibility. We go on board with the American now, into the hairpin of 7. Decides not to go for it there, but the top, well, I don't know what's wrong with Verne, because he's dropping back really quickly from the leaders. At the end of lap 1, the order is Piquet Jr., Abt, Prost, Verne, Di Grassi, Speed, Buemi, Da Costa, D'Ambrosio and Sarazan, the top 10.
The Verne's already been defensive there. He's got Lucas Di Grassi right behind him. Scott Speed ready to go too. I don't know what happened in that first lap that allowed that separation of the front 3, but he's going to have to get going here.
Yeah, there's Piquet Jr.'s advantage is 1.4 seconds, and then it's 2.2 seconds from Prost back to Verne. So Nelson Piquet has absolutely flung it away at the start. This is Bruno Senna dancing around behind Stefan Sarazan as they come down into the right-hander of 4.
Got a great exit there, great exit on the back straight. Let's see if Senna can get the move done, or is Sarazan going to put the block on him again?
It's the battle for 10th position, coming down towards the right-hander of turn 5 now. Looks to the inside, Bruno Senna. Not quite confident enough, though.
Ooh, I thought that move was on there.
Yeah, that's...
easy for me to see sitting here.
Yeah, absolutely. So through turn 6 they come. A very, very short lap here. We're expecting race lap times to be about 60 seconds. Now, Sam Bird is going to jump into his second car, but he has got to make that last a long old time.
Yeah, what has happened there? Was the front wheel slightly...
Didn't quite see. It would be great to see what actually the damage was to the car as they come through to complete the second lap. In general, it was quite a clean start compared to what it could have been. You know,
really?
I'm trying
look
to
at
find
the suspension.
silver linings.
Look at the damage on the wishbones. He's made heavy contact, or somebody's made heavy contact with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Jean-Eric Verne has just set the fastest first sector of anyone on that last lap. He's closed in 0.4 of a second to the back of Nico Prost. Sarazan is all over the back of D'Ambrosio now for 9th position. But it's all line astern up towards the front. Nelson Piquet has absolutely legged it at the start. Then second place there is Daniel Abt. third place behind him is Nico Prost, the championship leader. Piquet's start was brilliant, and I'm surprised Abt didn't defend a little more, frankly.
Yeah, he might not have been expecting it, but Piquet was aggressive. He was hard up against that right-hand side wall. Very, very tight entry into that chicane. Made it work. Pulled 1.5 seconds nearly on the first lap. He's going, and if he is doing what he has done in every previous race, which is save energy in that first stint of the race, the other guys are in trouble already.
Yeah, absolutely. So the cars come down through turn 1 and 2, the tight little chicane, and that's got speed in the wall. The American has crashed, and he's going to be out of the ePrix here in Long Beach. A real shame, but he has just done the classic, and there he is, and he's furious.
Got to be a safety car there, I would say. That was a big hit.
What a shame for Scott Speed.
Such a great job in Miami.
Not much you can say really after that. Then we've got a yellow at turns 1 and 2. Michael Andretti shakes his head. I wonder what's going through his head. Here's the onboard, Dario.
Okay, coming in there as normal on the line. Looks okay there. Just too much curve.
Yeah.
Look, both wheels off the ground. We talked about that. If you get it just right, it flies one side of the car, the left-hand side. Get it wrong, you'll see both front wheels in the air. Boom.
Yep.
Lose your steering. Doesn't steer with the front wheels in the air.
The guys behind did well to avoid the likes of Degrassi and Buemi.
Safety car out.
Safety car has been deployed then, so the Qualcomm safety car takes to the course. There it goes. And Scott Speed, well, a lot of American dreams will have sunk with that as well. The home hero, he was, you know, desperate to do well. He was in his Bruce Lee zone, but it hasn't worked out for him at all. This is bad news. Well, two ways you can look at it, I suppose. If you're Piquet, you get a chance to do some energy saving, but you've lost the lead of 1.5 seconds.
To me, he's lost the lead, plus his strong point, his real strong point is saving energy while still going quickly. Better than maybe anybody else on the grid. He's probably the Scott Dixon of the, you know, of Formula E. Maybe he's got this, the Kiwi streak as well, where he thinks he's paying for the fuel himself, but he's... Look at this
Nelson
start.
Piquet.
Great start. Everybody else got wheel spin. Look at the wheel. The black lines have left. Load of wheel spin. Piquet just went. And watch how aggressive he is here on the run up to turn 1. You'll see it. He's already planning that move. He's getting right over.
Abt is there, you know. Abt is there on the inside line. Yeah.
Piquet just caught him sleeping. Fantastic start.
So there was a shunt in there. Vern and let's see if we can see what happened to Sam Bird. Wasn't really looking in the right place there.
Yeah, couldn't see that with Sam.
No, it all just got very busy down there. Vern and Prost came together. That might have been Vern sort of backing off to check the car's okay after contact like that. Oh, here we go. This will be good. This is on board with Piquet. Really smoky from Abt.
This is the type of view you want to see as a driver. You're just, you know you've got it. Look.
That was just on the brakes, wasn't it?
Yeah, cracking move. Yeah. Look how tight that first part of the chicane was for him. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, really good stuff. This is on board the start with Scott Speed. Oh, doesn't get away particularly well.
No, I had to put some opposite in, so clearly some wheel spin.
Antonio Felix da Costa there on the inside line. Speed sends it to the outside, but he's going to go straight on here, isn't he?
He has no option.
Yeah.
That was the smart thing to do, because otherwise, yeah, he was going to wreck the car.
So da Costa, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, if we saw a couple of penalties here, or, you know, investigations, because Buemi, on the left-hand side, he would have gone straight over at that chicane. Da Costa was on the inside line, and he lost out 2 places because he took the corner.
Yeah,
so that's
I would love to.
Thing.
You have to see that from above, don't you?
Yeah.
Because if there was an advantage made, then yeah, I'm sure we'll see the car under investigation.
On board with Abt.
Watch the wheel spin. You'll see him feeding the opposite lock as the wheel spin takes hold here. This is on a slope. This start.
5 lights are on. There he goes.
There you go. There's the opposite.
Yeah.
Bit too much wheel spin. You're going to see a grey and yellow car coming down the inside in about 5, 4, 3. There we go. And he's thinking, damn, all that hard work in qualifying. It's all for nothing.
It's not a particularly long run towards the first corner there, actually, is it? It's quite a short little sprint. It's on board with Heidfeld. Then what are we going to see from Quick Nick? Lots of wheel spin.
That run is a lot longer to the IndyCar corner, I can tell you.
Yeah. So here he comes down into turn 1, sort of looks to the inside, thinks, shall I poke it up the inside there? No. And now there's Bird.
What? I don't know what happened.
Oh, sorry, that was Alguersuari. So
no, that was Bird with a broken suspension ahead of him. Don't get that. It's a big hit to break the suspension like that.
Yeah, unless there was contact in that first corner. But the car's still behind the Qualcomm safety car here then in FIA Formula E. Nelson Piquet Jr., the man leading the race, ahead of Daniel Abt, Nico Prost, Jean-Eric Verne. You can see the standings down at the bottom there. And if anything, the man with the most usable energy is Lucas de Grassi, 81% out of the top 6 drivers.
But very close, everybody's within a percent or two.
Yeah, absolutely, no one's really standing out just yet, but we only really had a lap or two of racing.
Yep,
but
fair point.
What a shame for Scott Speed. Yeah. You know, because we all want him to do well. We're in America, it'd be great to see an American driver do well. He's a cool dude as well, and it is a shame to see him go out.
It is. He's so, after Miami, they were on such a high. They had such high hopes for him, and you see that there. And it was just the smallest of mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. The one that has cost him dear.
Here we are lining up, another lap under the safety car at least here. It'll be interesting to see the restart. Traditionally, you get a bit of a gap out of that hairpin just with the effect of the one guy accelerating a fraction of a second before the others. We'll see, obviously Piquet's got the fan boost. Will he use that as a defensive thing to keep ahead of Abt? Abt doesn't have it, so let's see.
That could be an option for Piquet to just use it as a break to give himself a couple of tenths of a second, maybe half a second, something like that, of a cushion. It looks as though the safety car should be coming in this lap. That's just conjecture at the moment, but they've cleared Scott Speed's car, and it's going to be going straight off at the turn number 3.
Lights, did the lights just go out there, or the lights were still on coming towards us? Let's see.
So Nelson Piquet has made up 2 positions. Oh, we just had the graphic there of positions gained. I was just going to walk you through them, but they go away just as soon as I try and get onto them. But there's Nelson Piquet Jr. then leading the way. Lights still on the safety car.
Things aren't improving for the Mahindra boys, really, are they?
No, Karun Chandok still in 18th place. Senna's got up to 10th from 12th. Obviously, one of those was natural because we had the retirement of Scott Speed. Here we go, on board again. And let's see how much.
Look, just too much curb.
Yeah.
And you might find, I would have thought the tyre pressures would be up by now. But just car bottomed out. And you'll see there, look, I mean, he's probably taken a good foot.
He took a bit more than
there was a foot more than the other Andretti car of Jean-Eric Vergne. And then you want to rewind things if you can at that point. I've been that guy before, you just want to rewind it.
So the Qualcomm safety car will be coming in this lap. Hopefully it's the first time and only time we'll see the Qualcomm safety car, but it's coming in this lap. When will Nelson decide to go? I'd say just sort of on the exit of turn 6.
He might go just about now.
I think, yeah, there he goes.
Because then he gaps him a little bit on the brakes too.
I should be a racing driver.
Oh, big oversteer there for Piquet, getting onto power.
But he's got away and we go green once again. Jean-Eric Vergne is using his fan boost there to try and get past Nico Prost on the run down in towards turn 1. Vergne to the inside. Prost gives him space and Jean-Eric Vergne goes through up into 3rd position. Can he get it stopped? Job done. Vergne into 3rd.
Textbook pass. Good use of the fan boost there.
Absolutely. The rest of the order remains the same. Look at that. That was Lucas de Grassi trying to take his advantage to go past Prost as well.
Here comes Buemi too.
Loses 2 places in as many corners. Will Buemi fancy it? Actually, Da Costa's very close to Buemi, and Da Costa goes for it up the inside and through.
Here comes the crossover though. Here comes Buemi with the crossover.
Great racing as Buemi tries to get the cutback now to the inside. It's almost 3 wide because they've got, I think that's a Mahindra behind. They're just coming down towards turn number 5. It's Jerome D'Ambrosio in the Dragon car. Buemi is through, holding the inside line. Da Costa's almost hit the wall. That allows D'Ambrosio around the outside of 6. That gives the inside for 7, but he's lost all his grip. Goodness me.
He's going to lose it out here too. Watch onto the straight. Oh, it'll be that.
Just about kept that together, but that's going to allow Senna to go past
2 cars.
Oh, and that is Charles Pic, and he's spun around. I think it's Trulli. Car number 10 it is. Yes, it is Jarno Trulli.
And the car is broken right front suspension.
And here comes Senna, still side by side with Sarrazin as they come down into the first corner. So that's Senna going through into 9th position. That could be another safety car, unfortunately. Lucas de Grassi is just on the fastest first sector of anyone on this lap. Goodness me, it's all kicking off, and we've only had 8 laps of the race so far. And we go on board now with Heidfeld, down into the right-hander at turn 4, out onto the back straight, right up behind his teammate Stefan Sarrazin. And there is Trulli's car
again.
And the safety car is deployed.
There's no option.
And yeah, you got quite angry in qualifying about an unnecessary yellow flag at that corner. Are you happy with this decision?
That was a good decision. I got not as angry as maybe Buemi got after his penalty, but yeah.
So the second viewing of the Qualcomm safety car, we got away without it in Miami, but there's no choice here.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get a look at what happened, but I don't think you need to be, Miss Marple to figure out what would have gone on down here. I think Charles Pic would have lunged it at Trulli and hit him.
Yeah, exactly. He'd have thought, oh, great, I'll have that move, and then just at that, Jarno's turned in, and you see the result. It's been done many, many times before. There's Charles Pic leaving the pit lane.
So he's gone out. Yeah, the other man to keep an eye on is going to be Sam Bird, because he has already swapped to his second car, and he has got 30 laps to do in one car, so he's going to be crawling around, just, I imagine, hoping it's a race of attrition and pick up some points. Here we go, let's see if we can see it. So we got all these shenanigans going on. Keep watching further back. Into view there comes a Trulli car. Oh! Okay, so that's Pic going bananas.
What do they call that? A dart without feathers? That was...
Yeah, he's trying to overtake the guy in front of him.
Wow.
And so that's, yeah, he's tried to overtake Duval, and Duval's gone, okay, fine, crash into each other.
Poor Trulli was just driving along thinking, all right, another lap down, and got T-boned. Oh, God.
So, out of the race, Jarno Trulli. A real shame for the Italian. That's his third retirement of the season so far.
He has had a weekend to forget with both cars, really, hasn't he?
He's had the pace has been there at times. He finished 4th in Punta del Este. He was running 3rd in Malaysia till he collided with Piquet. But it just doesn't seem to come right for him. There he is. I'm sure Nicky will try and grab a word with him, but that's the international sign language for I'm not talking to anyone, leaving your helmet on.
Yes, it is.
And that'll be very frustrating for him. So Sam Bird there at the back of the pack. Piquet Jr. leads the way. Daniel Abt in 2nd place. Verne in 3rd. And that's, again, good news for Verne, because it's closed him on to the back of Daniel Abt. De Grassi 4th, Prost 5th. But that was some great dueling and dicing through all of that. Hopefully the fans were enjoying it.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? It's just what we wanted already from the first corner on the restart. It was all happening. So
we've done 10 laps now in about 20 minutes. So we're going a little slower than we'd want to be. Hopefully, once this is clear, that may be the last Qualcomm safety car of the race so far.
You said that last time. You've just jinxed it again.
Okay, fine.
Ah, Jack.
Apologies. At least Qualcomm will be happy, because they've got some 250 guests here this weekend, because their headquarters are in San Diego, just down the road. And the cars making their way down through the first couple of corners. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this race pans out, because these guys will be able to go longer into a stint as well now.
And be much more aggressive. At this point, energy saving, I do not think is a factor. Just, yeah, Jarno doesn't look like he wants to talk here, does he? He's probably just entirely fed up at this point.
But the race has been very entertaining so far. Hopefully we'll have as entertaining a race as we had in Miami, and it's been brilliant to come to North America. One of the goals for Formula E is to leave a lasting legacy in each sort of market that it goes to, and as part of the Action for Road Safety campaign, Michelin and FIA have teamed up to offer a $100,000 grant to help improve teen road safety, and this program will help training instructors in Long Beach.
Sorry, Jarno Trulli just grabbed you on the way back to the garage. Can you just quickly tell us what happened? I know you must be very disappointed.
I don't know, I was hit from behind, so I don't actually know what happened and who made this maneuver, but eventually the car is totally damaged. It was a very difficult weekend. We have had trouble this morning, trouble in qualifying. Nevertheless, I managed to put one quick lap in, but of course a lot of bad luck recently.
Okay, all right then, thanks very much.
Good luck.
So a very disappointed Jarno Trulli. The Qualcomm safety car coming in this lap then, and Nelson Piquet Jr. will get the racing back underway a little bit more tidy this time around as he puts the throttle down. Daniel Abt is stuck with him as they come across the line. The gap between them is 0.6 of a second. Then it's 0.6 back to Verne. De Grassi's not too far behind them either. Bruno Senna's looking quite racy there, but it's pretty much line astern as we get going again on lap 12 of 39 here in Long Beach.
I wonder if they caught the field gap, just napping just a little bit there.
Car 10 and 88 are under investigation, which is Trulli and Charles Pic.
I was Trulli under investigation for being a target of somebody else's abuse. I don't know.
I presume the correct terminology is the incident involving cars 10 and 88 is under investigation, I'd have thought, because it'll probably be a relatively swift investigation. There go the cars on the back straight. Lap 12, a little dart out. This is, Sebastian Buemi attacking his teammate. Prost eases up, lets him go through, and he needs to be careful now because Antonio Felix da Costa is right behind him. But I was surprised that Prost gave that up. Here comes da Costa up the inside into the hairpin. Great stuff from the Portuguese driver.
That's how you do it. That's how you do the hairpin. Great move. Prost's going to be thinking, I'm going the wrong way.
And now, but he's going to try and get back past da Costa on the run down in towards turn 1, but he's on the outside, so he's not going to be able to get through there. It's nose to tail now for third position. Lucas di Grassi is looking feisty as they flash through. And yeah, Nico Prost, I'm surprised how sort of easily he let Buemi through there. This is the man who's leading the championship.
Yeah, he's going to have to be more aggressive than that, isn't he? The best form of defence sometimes is an offence. He needs to attack a bit harder, I would say. We don't know what problems he's having in the car. Da Costa just made a real mess of the corner onto the front straight there, onto the back straight, sorry.
Nelson Piquet has just gone purple in sectors 1 and sectors 2. He's the fastest man out on the circuit, and he is waving goodbye to everyone else behind him. Da Costa's pushing hard. He goes a lot deeper into turn 5 than most of the other drivers, but he's managed to keep it all together, running up there in 6th position at the moment. It's all getting very scrabbly behind as they come into that slow corner.
Got a very unusual line. He takes a very wide line through that hairpin, which opens him up to get past on the way in.
Sebastian Buemi has just done the fastest lap of anyone, sub 1 minute, big lock up there coming into turn 1.
Jean-Eric Vergne did that. He's feeling the pressure here from Lucas.
Yeah, only 0.4 of a second behind as they come down, and look how close to Grassi is. It's all about the battle for third position now. This is Senna squabbling over 8th with Jerome D'Ambrosio, but Jean-Eric Vergne is under big pressure from Lucas di Grassi behind him. Di Grassi trying to get third place away.
And being defensive with it, and once you start doing that, it just gets gradually slower and slower. So Di Grassi's got to try and get past him here, otherwise the leaders are going to take off and leave him.
Under braking for turn number 5. They turn off Seaside Way and then into the car park area in front of the stadium. Sam Bird is using his fan boost. He's not really close to anyone, I don't think, in terms of position, because he's a lap down. This is Jaime Alguersuari in 14th spot at the moment. But here come the leaders. Look how close it is for 3rd and 4th. Di Grassi tucked right up behind Jean-Eric Vergne. Looks to the inside line, forcing Vergne to just drive in the middle of the road, not be too committed either way, but just to keep an eye out on Di Grassi behind him.
Just keeping him busy, keeping his eyes on the rearward mirror, hoping he's going to make a mistake.
Meanwhile, Nelson Piquet sets the fastest first sector of anyone again. Bird's just set the fastest lap of the race using his fan boost, and that could give him 2 points if he can hold on to that till the end of the race. But we've got a long way to go. There he is, down in 18th position. And again, Jean-Eric Vergne really under pressure from Lucas di Grassi as they flash under the back straight.
You can hear the echo of the motor under the bridge there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a sound we haven't heard before. He's still putting the pressure on, isn't he? Let's see if is he brave enough for a move at the hairpin? What do you reckon? No, too far back.
Yeah, around turn 6 and then into the hairpin off 7.
Lucas is a very, he's a thoughtful driver. He really thinks about what moves he's going to make.
And I wonder, do you think there'd be any team interplay between Di Grassi and Abt? Okay, they're teammates, but Di Grassi's the man 2nd in the championship, Abt down in 9th, and we're, you know, halfway through the season now.
No.
Okay.
I don't see it. No, I really don't. Look how aggressive they've been on the curbs there. Everybody just flirting with disaster.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, Alguersuari with a big old slide coming out of it. There's Charles Pic out there as well. And this is all allowing Sebastian Buemi back into the fray. The first lap chicane, there's no further investigation. No further action being taken after an investigation. Oh, and there's a bit of damage there for Charles Pic. Front wing wobbling around a little. He might have clouted something a little bit too hard. But Nelson Piquet Jr. leads on lap 15, Abt in 2nd, but it's Vergne, Di Grassi and Buemi, the 3 cars squabbling. And in fact, Daniel Abt's getting sucked back into this. So really, it's Abt, Vergne, Di Grassi and Buemi. The 4 cars squabbling over 2nd spot.
I think Charles Pic contact with Trulli might have done that damage earlier.
Piquet Jr. is down on 35% at the moment, which is, you know, 5% less than Lucas Di Grassi, who's on 40%.
Maybe he figures, as he said, they're going to be aggressive today. Fuel saving or energy saving is not as critical at this track. Maybe he's thought, okay, I can use X amount, and he.
Yeah, I'd rather have he was very close to the wall there on the way out of turn number 3, but maybe he thinks when you're in the lead, it's a different story. You've got to try and get that advantage.
He's not hanging about, is he?
No, he certainly is not. Jerome D'Ambrosio has just done the fastest first sector of anyone as they head down the back stretch underneath the gangways and bridges that lead to the Long Beach Convention Centre. And then under braking for the right-hander of turn number 5.
Just watch Vern's car as he turns in there, just twitching on the brakes the whole time. Right, yeah, just absolutely leaving nothing on the table. And they always close up into the hairpin and watch them gap again as they accelerate out.
Yep, the classic concertina effect of racing cars as they come past the pit straight once again to go on to lap 18 of 39.
And Nelson's still got his fan boost. Will he risk using it just to get a gap before the pit stop?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Nelson Piquet Jr., the winner of the fan boost. We've seen Jean-Eric Verne use his and Sam Bird use his. So Piquet Jr. is still keeping his in his locker.
Degrassi is closed up yet again.
And he's got an awful lot. He's got 6% more usable energy than Nelson Piquet Jr. So maybe he could attack Verne, but he's thinking, actually, I'm just going to sit here and wait it out until the pit stop windows come. We go on board with Daniel Abt. All the action's kicking off behind him, so it looks fairly calm from this camera angle.
Degrassi's probably thinking, oh God, here comes Buemi.
Into the right-hander comes Daniel Abt then, and out through turn 7 as he hits 150 kilowatts of power. So he's running at his maximum power usage at the moment that they can use during the race as he comes across the line. Just 0.3 of a second behind this from Verne to Degrassi. You can see Nelson Piquet vanishing off up in front.
Abt's a bit more circumspect through the chicane than he was first thing this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. He crashed in free practice 1. So through he comes, and there's a look back to turn 1. And look at this. This is Salvador Duran battling with Loic Duval. Duran almost going into the wall. It's the battle over 12th position, and this is allowing Jaime Alguersuari to fight as well. Down into the right-hander.
Oh, Salvador Duran's got up there quite well, hasn't he?
I was going to say, he started not dead last, but 19th. Antonio Liuzzi's still going and is up into 15th position. But yeah, Duran's got in front of Duval, Alguersuari, Liuzzi and Chandok, which is pretty impressive. But now this is the cue once again for second position.
Degrassi still has all that extra energy.
Yeah.
In hand. When is he going to use it? How is he going to use it?
Into the first chicane. He's right up behind. You can hear the crowd cheering every time they come past because they are enjoying this spectacle. Nelson Piquet has just done a personal best in Sector 1 again. His father commanded the race in 1980 to win his first Grand Prix for Brabham. He finished some 50 seconds up the road, I think, and it certainly looks as though Nelson Piquet could be repeating that performance today. De Coste has just done the fastest first sector of anyone there in the Amlin Aguri car, running in 6th place. Good to see them running towards the front in genuine race conditions.
Jerome D'Ambrosio's about to try and make a move. Is he? No, not quite there.
Not quite close enough.
Prost is looking like he's going further back.
Yeah, very interesting. There's Adrian Brody and Leonardo DiCaprio having a chat. Hopefully they're enjoying the race, or if not, at least the beer. And, oh, was that going to be a look to the inside line? We just missed it, but it looked as though there was a challenge going on in the hairpin. A little bit of a lock-up from Daniel Abt in second position. These 4 guys all going absolutely at it. Oh, big moment there. That was
correction.
Senna.
I'd love to see that in slow-mo.
That was incredible. It's all just, we see this, don't we? It all is Linus, and it's all brewing, and then they change into their cars. The pit stop time, by the way, is 82 seconds that they have to spend from pit in to pit out.
D'Ambrosio looking again on Prost. He's closer again. Has he got enough to make it happen on this lap?
Has Verne got enough as well? Verne is now closer to Abt than Degrassi is to Verne. And there's a look up the inside. He certainly has. Down into turn 5. Through goes Jerome D'Ambrosio past Nico Prost. And what has happened to Nico Prost here today? Because qualified great, he's going into the back of him there. Leaves his leg braking far too late. And that is a touring car style move back past. Surely he'll sort of slow down and re-let D'Ambrosio through, otherwise he's going to get a drive-through penalty.
But it's too late because Senna's already passed D'Ambrosio too.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's going to feel the wrath of the stewards on that one.
A real shame for Jerome because he worked really hard. Daniel Abt in the pits from second position. That is an early stop.
Not particularly. I know that he just might think, what's the point of, keeping all the energy in hand?
So he jumps out into his second car.
Hopefully it'll be in some clear track and he can make things happen.
Yeah, potentially, but he was in clear track where he was, I suppose. I mean, yeah, he had pressure from behind, so he's driving more in his mirrors than anything.
But he's hoping the other guys are going to come out in traffic. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go, bit of block in there by the Anlin car,
Yeah,
the blue car there.
This is Salvador Duran defending from Loic Duval. These two have been having a great squabble, and Duval's got a great run coming through turn 6. If we look to the right-hand side of shot here, we're going to see them coming through. Duval thought about it.
Here we go.
In comes everyone.
Here's the
Goodness
traffic
me,
jam.
in comes everyone.
Somebody kept going.
Yeah, we'll try and
Bruno
keep it-
Senna.
Yeah, so Senna's going. Everyone else is in the pits. This is going to get very, very busy. In comes Piquet, race leader. In comes Verne, looking for his pit spot, and he's found it then in the end. And this could all be, if you're at the back of the queue, you're sometimes better off here because you don't have to wait to let other drivers come past you. 82 seconds is, what, 1 minute 22, isn't it? And Daniel Abt did exactly 1 minute 22. Really good stop from the Abt boys. Daniel Abt could be in contention here for the lead of the race, depending on how good the pit stop is for the likes of Nelson Piquet Jr. So Senna's out, cruising around in the lead of the race.
Yeah, this is our leader. I would imagine he's coming in this lap. He's pushing as hard as he possibly can. You see it there, locking up.
Here's Duval now under pressure from Jaime Alguersuari. Around the left-hander, and into the pits now comes Bruno Senna. But now we're getting to the point in time where the cars are going to be leaving the pit lane, and this is the chance to see where they come out. So De Grassi waits. Now De Grassi goes. This is on board with Verne, and he's coming out
ahead of De Grassi.
So it's Piquet Jr., then Verne, and then side by side between De Grassi. Here comes Daniel Abt. He's going to go through and I think take third place. So Jean-Eric Verne has leapfrogged up to second position. It's third now for Daniel Abt, fourth for De Grassi, fifth for Buemi, it seems to me. We'll try and wait and see because we've got everyone else in the pit. So yeah, Piquet, Verne, Abt, De Grassi, Buemi and Prost is the order. But we'll have to wait and see.
Piquet was 124, so lost a couple of seconds in the pits, just being hopefully just a little cautious because with his pace, it's his race to lose, and he's still ahead here.
Jean-Eric Verne using his fan boost now to try and attack Nelson, well no, to try and close in, I guess, on Nelson Piquet Jr. or to defend from Daniel Abt. It's the next two cars coming through. Must have just been a defence there. As they come around the right-hander. Did Piquet use his fan boost in his first car?
I don't think he did. Unless he used it on the in-lap and we didn't see it. That would have been the tactical move.
Yeah. So where is Senna? There's Senna coming out of the pits now, so he's not going to be a huge winner in all of this.
He was a long way down though, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty much as you were, except Jean-Eric Verne is up into second place past Daniel Abt. Senna's coming out right with Prost. Senna versus Prost coming down into the left-hander, into the right-hander. Who's going to come out on top? Look to the left-hand side, it's Senna. Senna leads from Prost in the battle over sixth position. So that has worked out quite well for Senna.
Prost is having a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, Senna qualified, what, 12th? Prost ended up starting P2.
Yeah.
There's Sam Bird, day over.
Yeah, a real shame. I think he's sort of done what he tried to do, go out there and set the fastest lap, and then just come back into the pits and retire, because there's no way he could make it to the end of the race. Daniel Abt has not got much usable energy. He's got 86% compared to the other guys. The good news for Senna is he's got 97%, I think it was. So one more Qualcomm safety car, and he could be in contention. So, everyone has made their pit stops now. Nelson Piquet leads, Jean-Eric Verne is second, Abt, De Grassi, Buemi, Senna, Prost, Heidfeld, D'Ambrosio and Sarrazin, the top 10. Now the race gets interesting. It was already pretty interesting, but now it's, right, this is the situation. Off we go. A drive-through penalty for Charles Pic.
Surprise.
Yeah,
that unfortunately was deserved. Oh, here we go.
It's a bit of
Salvador
action with,
Duran.
Yeah, Duran and Duval. Oh, is Duran going in the wall here? Oh, goodness me. Oh, chaps.
Yeah,
the drifting's next week, gentlemen.
Bit of damage there.
Yeah, it looks like they might have both got away with it, but both of them sliding through the corner. There is actually a drift competition here next week. And, Abt has gone wide there into the final corner. There's our race leader.
Here
Nelson
comes
Piquet
Lucas.
across the line.
Look for De Grassi here.
Yeah, so not the first or second car, but the battle over third position. And yeah, De Grassi not quite close enough, actually, after all of that. Then Buemi, who, too, doesn't quite have the pace that we thought he would, considering he took pole position.
Yeah, I don't know if the Prost guys or the EDAMS guys rather are just not, maybe the race setup just not quite as good. Very, very unusual to see that big a difference between qualifying and the race with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So down into the right hand, they come out onto the back straight. We've got 14 laps to go, so about 15 minutes of racing remaining here in Long Beach, California. And it's Nelson Piquet, 3 seconds clear of Jean-Eric Vergne. And has he got this in the bag?
No, I was going to say something, and I'm not cursing the boy. I'm not going to do it. He has driven a fantastic race. He's clearly in his own postcode today. But as we've seen, it's the slightest mistake and you're in the wall, and I'm sure he's well aware of that. He's got to just keep it tight. He's just done a fastest sector 3 there and pulled away even further. 3 seconds up the road now. He's absolutely just dancing that car through the chicane.
And there's Mr. Liu, the boss of the Team China squad. No, it's not, my apologies. I didn't recognise the back of his head. But nevertheless, the next EV by Team China squad. And they're going to be very happy, no doubt about that, with how things are progressing up at the front for Nelson Piquet. And what a story. We all secretly...
Don't say it, Jack.
Okay, fine.
Say it.
I'll leave it for the final lap of my big closer.
Look at the Abt boys there, second, third, and fourth. It's quite a performance for them. They've had a busy day there. They're doing well so far. Look how laid back everybody's rear wing is here. Obviously, 4 pretty long straights by Formula E standards, and they've all got the downforce at an absolute minimum. Here's on car with Jean-Eric Vergne, in car, should I say, on car.
I suppose it is on car.
I suppose it is really, but yeah, he's running P2 right now, and he's clearly learned about saving the energy, doing the fast lap times from his past experiences. Very cautious through the first part of that chicane.
Does he think he can win this race?
You always think he can win it, but the rate that Nelson's disappearing. Oh, somebody definitely bottomed out there in the chicane. You heard it. It's one of the things with the relatively quiet noise the Formula E car makes. You can hear the suspension, you can hear when they bottom out on the curbs and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
and as we found out today, you could hear when somebody hits a wall.
Yeah. So the biggest battle really is Abt and Degrassi, and look how little energy Abt has got remaining. If I was in charge of Abt, I'm not, thank goodness for the Abt team, but I'd be saying you got to let Lucas through here. He's in such a stronger position in terms of usable energy, in terms of the championship. But meanwhile, let's just look at D'Ambrosio trying to get past Nick Heidfeld down into 7, up the inside. Oh, he's too far back.
Well, he hit him there.
He's got away with that.
That was, yeah, you wouldn't get much between them. I think he actually hit him right in the middle of the corner just to let him know he's there.
Yeah, but would you not swap them around if you're on the pit wall?
Yeah, you might do, because he's holding him up now. It's marginal, but he is holding him up. But do you want to do that and take Daniel's race away from him? Always a tough call with team orders.
Especially when it's your son, I guess.
Yeah, good point.
And Jürgen Abt, the boss of the Abt team, the father of Daniel Abt. So this is all the squabble over 8th position, Heidfeld and D'Ambrosio.
D'Ambrosio looks close again.
Certainly does. And Degrassi keeps just sort of fading to the inside, but Abt is driving well in that 3rd place. He'd love to get back-to-back podiums. On board we go with Buemi in 5th position. The man who's in 5th place in the championship. Down into the final corner. On the power, a little bit of a correction as he comes out.
The instant torque of the electric motors catching them out there. It's quite good to see them just slide in the rear of the car through out of that hairpin.
10 laps to go here in Long Beach. Nelson Piquet Jr. leads.
Not quite 150 kW there, Billy Watts. He's just a little bit shy of that. He bottomed out there. Did you hear that?
Yeah, he's on about 140, isn't he? And we're hearing from the pit lane that Sam Bird hit the wall at the start, so he was squeezed into the wall, possibly. There's Antonio Felix da Costa down in 11th position, just outside the points for Amlin, which is they'll be frustrated actually. Did he lose time in the pits? Oh goodness, he lost 8 seconds in the pits, Antonio Felix da Costa, which is a real shame, because they were running up in 5th place.
Yeah, there'll be an investigation in the team about that. That's whatever happened there. Not good. It's so difficult. The teams and the drivers get more of a hang of this. It's more and more difficult to find an advantage. And so if you lose anything, you're going to lose 5-10 places.
Into turn 1 goes Piquet Jr., followed by Jean-Eric Vergne. 3rd is Daniel Abt, who's staved off the attack a little bit of Degrassi.
He did well to get it in there. He's locking the rears just a little bit on entry.
Senna running in 6th, which is a good performance from Mahindra actually. A pretty solid run. Their best performance, best result of the season so far. Here's a 5th position that they've had twice, once with Chanduk and once with Senna.
They need something today, don't they?
Yeah.
The Mahindra guys, they've just had such a tough time. It'd be good to see them get a decent result.
Chanduk's running in 14th place. They haven't had a point-scoring finish since Senna's 5th in Buenos Aires back in December. Through turn 6, the 3-way battle over 3rd position. This is all going to start to heat up with 8 laps to go. Loic Duval's just done the fastest first sector of anyone. He's 3.5 seconds back from Alguersuari.
I'd love to hear the radio of to hear Lucas just now, to see if he's holding me up or not, or if they are going to.
Oh, Daniel Abt has been given a drive-through penalty for overusing his maximum power, and there you can see the reaction of the Abt team, heads in hands, a shake of the head, and Daniel Abt has been given a drive-through penalty for using too much power. So they have a limit of 150 kilowatts, and at some point during the race, Daniel Abt has used too much.
Is that a spike? Is it spiked up to that, or is it actually a prolonged use of more than 150?
I don't know, mate.
Tough one, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, bit of lock up there by Lucas.
But now Abt will get the message, and if he doesn't come into the pits, he will at least get out of the way. Also under investigation is car 7, 9, Buemi, D'Ambrosio and the like. Not sure what for.
Daniel Abt's kept going here. Oh, somebody else is in.
And that's Nico Prost. Nico Prost has come into the pits. Nico Prost coming into the pits now. I wonder why he's doing that. So Nico Prost potentially out of the ePrix.
We're hearing that Verne's battery's getting a little hot.
Okay, well, they've had overheating issues before. He's got a 4-second margin.
He's got clean air, yeah.
So you'd think he can sort of cruise around.
If Daniel Abt was a good teammate here, he'd let Lucas pass.
And then hold up.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying hold
just be
up.
in front.
Yeah.
So Abt is on 38% anyway. So he has got a low battery.
Senna's got 52
energy
left.
usage. Really?
He can use that to his advantage here if he can catch these boys in front.
So Nico Prost is still. Prost, I think, is still in the pits. I'm not sure because the clock seems to have stopped, so we'll try and find out. And into the pits comes Daniel Abt to serve his drive-through penalty.
Almost looked like Prost drove through, but
well, that's what I was just thinking. But because it says he only spent 32 seconds in the pits, unless he's gone. I suppose maybe if he's pulled back into the paddock, the timer stops. But he's certainly not back out on the circuit. So it looks as though Nico Prost is out of the race, and there is Daniel Abt. What a frustration for him. That's another penalty for battery and energy management this year. He's had a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, is that a problem with him? Is it a problem, you know, with the way the team go about things? It's so difficult to say. So now the battle for third is on between Di Grassi, Buemi, and let's not forget Bruno Senna.
With all that energy in hand to catch these boys, if he can make it happen. They've obviously had the problems with the cars, in getting the cars to handle, but extra energy, extra speed, here we go. And here we go. Nelson Piquet just going about his business. 5
laps to go here in Long Beach, California, just south of Los Angeles. And we have been treated to an entertaining race. There you can see car number 9 under investigation. We're trying to find out why he's under investigation. Big slide there from Lucas Di Grassi in 3rd position. And this is going to be the squabble now to watch, isn't it? 3rd place. It's one of the first times that we're not... Well, I'm going to jinx it again, but I'm going for it. It's one of the first times we haven't got a sort of nose-to-tail lead battle for the final 5 laps. But maybe that'll come. Who knows? But this is the battle certainly on for 3rd position. Senna's got 42% of usable energy. Oh, Nico Prost was given a drive-through penalty for his collision with D'Ambrosio. So we were never told about that, but I've just been told from the pits by Nicky Shields. Thank you very much, Nicky, that's what happened. He was given a drive-through penalty for when he shunted the back of D'Ambrosio, which seems fair.
And Buemi just got a warning flag for a pit lane incident.
Okay, so
Stewards are busy.
Elusive as ever. 4 laps to go here in Long Beach. Are we going to see a move for 3rd position? There's Alejandro Agag on the left-hand side. He's hanging out with the potential winners as Nelson Piquet Jr. 35 years after his dad won the Long Beach Grand Prix.
You've said it. You've said it.
He is leading the way.
This is the thing. Look at how easy it looks here. It's not, but when you're that dominant, you can make it look easy. And he's just driving away, and I'm telling you, he's feeling good about it right now.
Not quite sure what that was. Team radio coming from somewhere.
Okay, need to be more clear because understands no coast.
No coast.
Okay, so he's saying you need to be more clear.
7.1.
This is the team radio of Nelson Piquet Jr. we're hearing. And I think they're saying no coast to Piquet by the sounds of it.
So I just said it sounded effortless, and he's on the radio now having a bit of a party with the team. Oops.
3 laps to go here. This is the squabble over third.
Buemi's getting close, isn't he?
Buemi is pushing really hard. Senna has dropped back from this fight now that Daniel Abt has disappeared from the scene. So they drop down.
Buemi's got to set him up. He's going to. Can he set him up for the pass? It's going to be so difficult because of the relatively high speed of the corners here at Long Beach. Can he set him up for that pass in the last couple of laps?
Only, well, we're almost onto the penultimate lap. Race leader Nelson Piquet will be in a couple of moments' time. A little feint from Buemi, but he knows that consistency is important as well. Here's, oh goodness me, this is action. D'Ambrosio going past Heidfeld. Oh,
what was Nick thinking there?
I don't know.
I hate to say Nick deserved what he got there. He was squeezing the guy into the wall. The guy's there, you can't expect him to disappear.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, just
and he's lost his rear wing there, so he gets going again, and he might be able to limp around to the finish, but he's not going to be picking up any points from that one as the battle for third goes on to the penultimate lap, and De Grassi's got a good margin here.
Yeah. But Buemi's going to be trying to build, we've seen him do it before, just build up on that last lap and see if he can get closer and closer and make that one move. He's going to have one shot at it, and that's it. But Piquet is 3 seconds up the road and just taking it easy. Here's Charles Pic. And he's pretty close to going a lap down, old Charles.
Yeah, well, he's been in that one car for quite a while because he lost his front wing in that collision with Jarno Trulli, so he pitted early on. This is Charles Pic, the back marker. But out there is Nelson Piquet Jr. And there is the Team China squad next EV. But on the last lap now is Nelson Piquet Jr. Here he is coming down towards turn 1. Just 2.1 kilometers to go.
Really slowed it down there. He's down to a 61.5 second lap, just taking it nice and easy. And he's got a gap bringing it home. Buemi's still close to De Grassi there. Still not quite close enough to make it happen.
It's going to be very, very
enough
tight.
to make it exciting.
Yeah, exactly. So Nelson Piquet Jr. turns into the right-hander. Now, out along Seaside Way. It's been 40 years since racing began here in Long Beach. Since then, we've had IndyCar, Formula 1, Formula 5000, also the American Touring Car Championship. But 35 years ago, Nelson Piquet Sr. won his first ever Formula 1 race in Long Beach. And now, Nelson Piquet Jr. exits the final corner to win his first Formula E race in Long Beach. Great performance from Nelson Piquet Jr. Delight for next EV by Team China.
Congratulations, guys. Jesus Christ, can't believe we did it. I felt this weekend was ours. I knew it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Such a good weekend. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for trusting me. I'm sure this is only the first one. It was my father's first one, and this is my first one. Now we're going to have several others.
That's
maybe
cool.
3 championships along the way.
The old man was pretty successful, wasn't he? Great to see. Well, a well-deserved victory, just domination all day.
Yeah, he was in the zone from the moment he came. He would have had pole position had it not been for Sarazan backmarking. That start was ludicrous to go from third to first, and a hugely well-deserved victory for Nelson Piquet Jr. Jean-Eric Vergne finishes in second place. It's third for Lucas Di Grassi. And let's not forget that, Piquet spent a lot of his time in America as well. Yes, he's a Brazilian, but he's raced in, NASCAR. Yeah. He's raced in Global Rallycross as well. A superb performance from Nelson Piquet Jr. And it's the result, we're all impartial, but it's a cool result.
It really is. And even though you tried to curse it during the race, no, absolutely fantastic there. You know, and he's taken away, he had that golden whatever helmet, the design. He's now got his traditional PK colours on the helmet this weekend as a tribute. That's cool to see. And Jean-Eric Vergne, P2, Lucas Di Grassi, P3. Good championship weekend for Di Grassi.
Yeah.
Listen to the crowd.
So that is 6 winners in 6 races. The top 6 in the championship, I believe, have now all won a race.
This was my favourite bit of winning a race here. You come along, coming into this turn 6 here, and you see the grandstand on its feet, right where he's looking at there. You can hear them. Yeah.
That's superb.
Fantastic to see. He's a happy boy, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly is. And, well, he might be. The winner of the Long Beach ePrix is Nelson Piquet Jr. The fans applauding him all the way back around. We'll be hearing from him in a couple of moments' time, but he did everything right. An amazing start, led from start to finish. And this, if my calculations are correct, will see Lucas Di Grassi go to the top of the points on 75. Nelson Piquet Jr. go second in the points on 74, if my calculations are correct. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be 1 point difference at the top of the championship between Di Grassi and Piquet Jr. And Nico Prost is now going to be some 8 points off the lead of the championship.
I don't know what happened today with Nico Prost, but
No.
that was a bad race. And before the penalty, that was a tough race for him. He was going backwards in a hurry. He won't be very happy with that one. That's him getting ready for the podium here.
Nelson climbs out of the car, and he's the winner of round 6 of the season. High fives and congratulations all around. There is the famous Piquet helmet. An amazing story.
Cool to see.
It really is, isn't it?
Yep. It's great to see what it means to these guys to win. You know, he raced in Formula 1, and you see what it means to him. Like I said to you earlier, you see him one week he's racing Rallycross, the next Formula E, the next he's at a go-kart race racing. The guy just loves to race, so full marks to him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's making his way around. Hopefully we'll have a chat with him in a couple of moments' time.
He's getting weighed by the FIA there, with all the gear on.
Funky gloves. But there you can see Nicky poised, and we will be hearing from our race winner in just a couple of moments' time. Senna and Prost seniors never really had much success here. Senna never raced in Long Beach. Prost never finished higher than 11th, but Nelson Piquet won the race, and as a result, his next generation has taken victory here in Long Beach as well. Let's hear then from our race winner for round 6, Nelson Piquet Jr. for Next EV by Team China.
Well, Nelson Piquet, you knew you could do it this weekend, and you have. How good does that feel?
It's hard to believe. I mean, everything worked out. I mean, my first fan boost, our first win, I felt so comfortable over here. I knew I could have won Miami, but we did it over here, you know, and this helmet means a lot. You know, it's 35 years since my father won the first Formula 1 race in his career, and it's my first Formula E race in my career, so this helmet's I don't think I'm gonna give it to him now. I think I'm gonna keep it and do an extra few more races now.
At what point during the race did you think, I've got this, I can win it?
Well, honestly, at like about 4 laps, let's say 6 laps to go, the team went, okay, more coasting. And I understood no coasting. So I started, oh, let's keep pushing. And then they came back on the radio and said, Nelson, maximum coasting. I said, holy shit, I didn't understand that you guys wanted me to coast. So I got a little bit worried, but I think, you know, I had everything under control, and car was great. I mean, just everything worked out. The start was amazing. You know, I think the procedures hours and the starts, we just found something that made us an amazing start and won us the race.
You've had a really consistent day today. You know, you said you've got a lot of control of the car now. Being the 6th winner for the 6th race, is the championship now fully on your mind?
Yeah, it's well, it's always been in my mind. You know, obviously it was a bit of a dark one in the beginning. I had no idea what was going to happen when I first entered the series. You know, I entered a bit late, but obviously I've since a few races I knew we were a contender. You know, and just wanted to say also I wish my family would be here. My girlfriend Brooke, I know she must be at home watching this race. I wish you were here. I love you, babe, and anyway, it's gonna be a great celebration.
I'm sure they're all jumping for joy at the moment. Thanks very much. Well done.
Victory for Nelson Piquet, and you just had the, you know, it's all very clever to be sort of, it's all very easy to be clever once the events happen, but it always felt like it was his weekend, and I know that sounds like a very contrite thing to say, but it really was a superb performance. Jean-Eric Vergne is in second position then, and he is with Nicky, his first ever podium in Formula E, astonishingly.
Jean-Eric Vergne, best result so far this season. You must be happy.
Yeah, I don't know what if most happy about the second place or finishing the race. No, I'm happy, you know, for the guys. With the crash this morning, it was a good way to apologize, and it's a good point for the team also for the championship. And you know, I'm happy to be on the podium, starting fifth. It's quite good, you know. The other guy was Piquet was just a little bit too quick for me to catch him, and we've done a good job this weekend, and I mean today. And you know, I'm happy to bring this back home and roll on for the win in Monaco. And Monaco, yeah, clearly the objective will be to win, and I'm happy.
You started off the day having to go up to Michael Andretti and apologise. I'm sure now he'll be very delighted.
Yeah, I think it's good, you know. It's never pleasant when you crash, but you know, you need to keep your head down and still do the job in qualifying on the race. And I think that's what we done today. The boys have done a brilliant job to fix the car because it was quite heavily damaged. And yeah, congrats to them also. And yeah, been a long time I haven't been on the podium.
And is the mind already looking ahead to the next race?
Yeah, clearly, especially it's going to be a bit of a home race for me in you know, Monaco. I love this. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of fans coming, and I can't wait for this race.
Congratulations, well done.
A strong race from Jean-Eric Vergne, and that's his first podium finish, I believe, since he raced in Formula Renault 3.5 and finished second in 2011 for Carlin at Barcelona. So some 4 years in the wait. Now let's hear from third place man Lucas de Grassi.
Lucas de Grassi, good to see you back on the podium and at the top of the championship standings.
Yeah, great to be back on top. It was a very tough race. We had very, very bad luck the last two races. We had a suspension failure in Buenos Aires leading the race, and in Miami we had a battery overheating also in third position. So we lost a lot of points in the last races, but now fourth podium in 6 races. Can't complain. The team has a fantastic job bringing us back into the lead of the championship, and now we go for the European rounds completely renovated.
Did you enjoy the battles out there on the track? It looked pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Battling with Jean-Eric in the beginning, then with Sebastian, then with Prost. It was pretty tough, but everybody was fair.
Now, obviously, we're heading into your home race in Monaco. Are you going to be excited and focused on that?
Yeah, I love Monaco. It'll be my home race. We don't have a race in São Paulo in Brazil, so racing Monaco will be really, really cool. I think the track they come up there was going to be amazing. So if you're around, come to watch us.
And this is really at the time when you can start moving past sort of, you know, everybody else in the championship and making your break.
The championship is going to be a massive fight until the very end. I don't believe anyone will have any margin, so it will be very, very tough. London, we have a double header, so it will be 60 points available. So for sure, the championship is going to be defined or decided in the details and in the last round.
Congratulations, thank you.
Great to hear from Lucas de Grassi, such a strong performer, but he finally gets back on the podium after 2 races where he was missing in action when the podium ceremonies got underway, his 4th podium of the season. Here's a look at the race results. Nelson Piquet Jr. winning, 1.7 seconds clear of Jean-Eric Vergne, but in truth it was a lot more comfortable than that. Lucas de Grassi completing the podium. Sebastian Buemi finishes in 4th place ahead of Senna in 5th, D'Ambrosio da Costa, Alguersuari, Duval and Sarrazin completing the top 10. Nick Heidfeld finishing just outside the top 10 in 11th place ahead of Chandok, Liuzzi, Prost and Abt and Peak completing our 16 runners, with Duran, Bird, Trulli and Speed retiring from the race. And what has that done to the championship standings? Well, Lucas de Grassi is now 1 point clear of Nelson Piquet Jr. at the top of the standings. 2 Brazilians vying it out. And then Nico Prost is still in 3rd place, 6 points off the top. Sebastian Buemi in 4th. Sam Bird has dropped from 3rd down to 5th. But we've now had the top 6 drivers in the standings all win 1 race so far this season. So now it's time for the podium procedure here in Long Beach. Always a great event. And it'll be getting underway in just a couple of seconds' time.
Wonder if PK's got his goggles.
That's true, actually. He usually has his goggles when he comes to the podium. Whether he'll need them this time around, we'll wait and see. The crowd are amassing down at the bottom there. Next Ev, Team China, will be delighted with their performance. Third place then for Lucas de Grassi. His 4th podium of the season, more than any other driver. Second place, the Frenchman Jean-Eric Vergne for Andretti. A team with such history here, both as a team and with Mario and Michael. But the race winner, 35 years after his father, it's Nelson Piquet Jr. on the top step of the podium. Great that he's brought his helmet up as well.
It clearly means a lot to him, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah.
I love to see that, because a lot of people say, yeah, don't tell me what my dad did.
I'm a different person, I'm my own man.
And he's there saying that. He's got the PK colours there. Good on him.
And the next EV, boss heading. The 12-inch Brazilian national anthem. Victory for next EV by Team China. That's Mr. Liu on the left-hand side. The boss of the Team China operation, team principal Stephen Liu, is the man on the pit wall. And now the trophies are set to be awarded. Robert Garcia, the mayor of Long Beach, handing out the trophy to the race winner, Nelson Piquet. Next up, we have the CEO of Qualcomm, Mr. Paul Jacobs. He's going to be handing the trophy to second place man, Jean-Eric Vergne, who's the one in the black overalls. Or maybe he's come out with the wrong trophy here.
I hate when that happens.
And so now he's going to hand it to Mr. Liu anyway.
The owner's trophy.
Yeah. Qualcomm, based in San Diego. Saw plenty of action from the Qualcomm safety car today. But victory for next EV by Team China. Great performance from them. And now Jean-Eric Vergne will receive his second place trophy. Irina Shayk, a model, former partner of Cristiano Ronaldo. And the third place trophy being handed out by Robert Clark, president of SCCA Pro Racing.
That's my old boss. Robert used to run Honda Performance Development.
Did you get in trouble with him much?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Lucas de Grassi then with a third place finish. As I say, his 4th podium of the season so far. So the 3 gentlemen will stand on the top step of the podium together, joined by Mr. Liu. And he is over the moon with that. Great to see Team China having success, because they've raced in GTs in the past, in A1 GP as well. But now they are winning at the top level of international motorsport. No goggles for Nelson Piquet Jr. He wants to take all the champagne he can on a victorious afternoon for the man of the moment, as his father was 35 years ago. Mr. Stephen Liu gets some champagne. And the Campos team there as well, the operation that are behind the Team China squad. And you really get the feeling this means a lot.